Take 225. Just kidding. But that's what it feels like. I am trying to do this video and I have started literally 5 different times. You see, I live in a shelter with other people, so doing this video is a real challenge. I would try to do it out in nature, but everywhere I go, it seems like there's a ton of background noise. And honestly, it's been a pretty long day and I don't feel like walking that far. And I'm excited to get started on this video, so here goes. I'm gonna try again. Quick recap, my name is Teresa. I live in Fayetteville, Arkansas. I have been dealing with homelessness for 6 years, but it's only been in the last 11 months that I've actively been struggling to try to get out of it. And honestly, I was forced into those circumstances because I was put on probation and faced with the penalty of going to prison, and there's no way I'm going to live my life behind bars, not even for one more day, because I spent 3 months in the hole in jail, and that was enough for me. In fact, I threw myself off of a bridge because of it. Today, I just wanted to talk about some of the coping methods that I have used to get myself through the day, because sometimes even I struggle to understand my emotions or where something is coming from. Like, my anxiety has been through the roof, quite honestly, even though I've done everything that I can to try to control it. My best guess is that everything is going so good, I'm a little bit scared that the bottom's going to drop out, if that makes any sense. I've had a lot of thoughts on my mind, so that could be part of it. I mean, I'm doing a lot of things. I'm facing a lot of new challenges. My partner is behind bars, and he's trying to change his life in there, while I'm trying to change mine out here. And we're both trying to achieve goals where we can actually have the future we are now beginning to dream of. I mean, before, I don't think we were really thinking about the future much at all because we were active in our addiction. But I still believe that we love each other and that we will make a phenomenal couple whenever we reach for the stars. And that's what I'm hoping to do. And I have big dreams, and so does he. So that's a good start. And we both have pretty strong wills. So when we put them to good use, there's no telling what we can do. This morning, I started out my day by making myself get out of bed. I've been struggling a lot more in my life now that I'm facing my first felony and I'm on probation, and I can't just pick up and have the freedom to go somewhere and start all over again and try to figure it out, Not that I probably would have done that if I wasn't facing probation. I would have just kept shooting methamphetamines in my veins and telling myself that everything was okay. Or worse, I could have, something really bad could have happened to me from using, because my health isn't the best. I'm facing a lot of challenges in that direction too. But for the first time in a long time, I'm going to the doctor. I took treatments. I received Hep C, and I took treatments for that. And I recently had a cervical biopsy. And so I'm waiting for those results, but I'm not worried about it. God's got me. He really does. He's really good. He's great. I'm just thankful that I don't want to throw myself off a bridge anymore. Like, in that, every day I at least have the desire to try to do something with my life. And I know that heaven's waiting for me. And I believe that I can have it here on this earth if I just try to love people and do the things that I know that God wants me to do. And he gave me a voice for a reason, so here I am. This morning, I made myself get out of bed. I really didn't want to. The day before that, I did not feel that way. And when I don't feel that way, I'm always scared that I will feel that way. And like, my fear came true when I woke up. I did not feel that way, but instead of letting the depression overcome me, and I got up, I stayed in bed for about a half an hour, So I got up about 6:30, and I have decided to start taking care of myself more physically. I had gained 30 pounds being in jail, going to psych wards, and quitting meth at 44 years old after not exercising for 6 years. Um, it was a little bit of a challenge, but I decided to make it fun. And I love to dance. I just don't do it often because I don't have much privacy. And to me, it's a way to have a physical outlet as a woman, and just like um, I have a lot of thoughts and memories and ideas and inspiration that run through my head and are so beautiful to me, and it just comes out in the form of movement. And I love experimenting with my body, and seeing in the fluidity of the emotion that just goes through me, and like um, I like to teach myself how to move in ways where I can feel my body stretching and lengthening, and just doing things that it's not used to, and I know that it's good for me, if that makes sense. And I really love quirky music. I really love Christian rap music, and I find a lot of inspiration from songs. So another coping method for me is to listen to certain songs, and when I find one that's really inspirational, I kind of play it um, obsessively every day for a long time until I kind of burn out on it. And one that I found recently is called Built from Broken by Georgia Phantom. So check that out if you've been through a lot of stuff. So it'll make you feel empowered if you like it. I mean, I know it's probably not for everyone. Everybody has different tastes, but it's one of my personal favorites right now at the moment. Anyhow, so also another good love song, and it's a Christian love song. It's called No More Sorries. And that one really spoke to my heart too, because it's about the transformation um, of a man who believes in God, and the way he starts to see his lover through God's eyes, and the true beauty of a woman and what she can represent. And to me, that's pretty beautiful, and you can tell the sincerity in the song. So that was the first thing I did, and then after that, I picked out my outfit for the day. I tried on a few things. I really like I really like my fashion. And where I work at the day center, there's clothing, and I'm allowed to get some sometimes. I try not to go overboard, and I like to find stuff for people too and bring them little gifts. I found some pretty cute stuff for my friends today, so that was exciting. That made me feel good. And today I found some really cute shoes. I don't have them. I should have brought them in here with me, but they're in my room. I'll show them. I'll show them later. They're cute. You'll see more of my style. Don't miss out. But anyhow, so I did that, and I just stood in front of the mirror and did my self-care. I have special oils that I use. I'm starting to do all the things that I used to do before my addiction. I didn't become addicted to meth until I was 35 years old. From the time I was 17 until I was 35, I raised my 3 children, mostly on my own. I was in and out of disastrous relationships, but like I divorced their father whenever they were very young, and I left him and went to a women's shelter, and I went to college, and I got an associate's degree, and I lived in a small town. My story is a very long one. I'll go into more detail sometime, or just in that comment section, ask me what you want to know, and I'll answer it in another video. Like, just make a request if there's something that I forget to mention, because there's a lot of details, and I tend to get very sidetracked. So back to what I was saying, I started to do I've started doing those things again. So that's what I did this morning. I focused on what made me feel better about myself, and self-care is definitely one of them. The physical self-care, and then grooming myself, and picking something to wear that represents me that shows my personality. And I've just always loved fashion. So I took a lot of care with my hair. I was going to do a DIY on it, but now it's the end of the day. I've been out in the heat and humidity. I've messed with it a lot. I came home and I curled it too, but I didn't like the way that it looked whenever I looked into the camera, so I put it half back. So anyways, that's the best you're going to get right now. That's all I got to say. Also, I went to work. Well, let's go back a little bit. After I grew myself and everything, I was running a little bit later than I expected. I took a while in the bathroom. I wanted to make this video in the morning. I was a lot more excited then. I got more nervous about it as the day went on because I have a tendency to procrastinate. I get all these really great ideas of things I want to do, and then I'll get a ton of them half started and nothing ever really goes anywhere. So I'm bound and determined to do this regardless of whether anybody watches me or not. I don't know how often. I'm hoping every day. Who knows? I'm kind of erratic, but maybe several times a day. Maybe I'll do so good I can quit my job and do this full time, but I like my job. So I arrived about an hour early, and I got to spend time with my friends at the homeless center, the day center. It's basically like an adult daycare center. It's a place where people can go who are at camp and don't have access to showers, so they can come in, they can get a shower, they can get meals, they sign up on a list and tell this and ask for certain services, and then one at a time they go over to the service side and they take their showers and get their clothing or whatever it is that they need, whatever we can provide. And now I'm excited to be part of that process because I don't get to just help people. I literally get to help people who are my friends and my family, and meet new people that come in. And that's really great. So it's kind of tricky sometimes because I'm a client, but I work for them now too. So I'm learning how to balance that a little bit, because I have to be professional, but at the same time, I know these people well enough to be like, hey, you ain't messing that shower up now, are you? Like, you gotta pick your towels up, right? I ain't messing around, Fred. And they know me well enough to know, I'm joking, but I'm not joking. So I got to see some people today that I hadn't seen for a while that popped into the day center. It's been a little more sparse lately. The university, in Fayetteville, Arkansas, a lot of people camp off of different trails, but south side of Fayetteville is where the majority of the homeless community resides. And we've had a few changes lately, but they've gone through changes before where the university police have run people out of camps when things have gotten out of control, like become a huge mess, like people with just way too many things, not picking up after themselves, and a lot of addicts living together in one area, and things have gotten more violent recently. We've had some deaths. We've had some bad things happening in the community that weren't happening whenever I first arrived here 6 years ago. And it's sad to see the changes, and I was really upset for a little while because they cleared out one side of the trail, and a lot of people disappeared, and I didn't know where they went to. And we haven't seen them at the center, and I'm no longer out there living like day to day, so I didn't really know where they went or what was going on. So I'm glad to see some of them again. Like today, there was a fluctuation. There were a lot of people in and out. It got slower and then it would get busier. But I like to be kept busy, especially whenever I'm helping people and the time flies by. That's pretty cool. Really specifically what I do is I work sorting the clothes, like donations that come in. I go through those, and I hang them, I size them, and if when people go in the bathrooms and they have 15 minutes to take their showers, and then whenever they leave, I keep an eye on the showers, and I go in and I get their towels or clothes that they've left and kind of pick up a little bit, and then I do loads of laundry, and I help them find things if they need them, just various things like that, and help out in different areas that need to be helped out in, whatever the job requires me to do that day. Today I stayed an hour later and I helped serve everyone in the kitchen. So that was good because I started very part-time. I only work a couple days a week because I was struggling so much with my mental health. And I literally didn't feel like I could do it. Now I feel like I could do a little more, but we're in the middle of some transitions and there's not really a requirement, a need for an employee to get more hours. So I can't get more hours right now, but I hope to do so in the future. That would be great. Either that or I may do another part-time temporary job. So anyways, those are some of my coping mechanisms. My job in itself is something that helps me. And like I said, seeing my friends, my family, taking care of myself physically, and trying to understand as I'm doing those things. I think in my head a lot, like exactly why I'm feeling the way that I am. So like I said, today one of my main struggles was anxiety. Having PTSD, such an extreme case of it, because like I said, I've gone through many things. Um, that's a tough one to figure out. I have borderline personality disorder and also manic depression. So it's just a mixture of things from day to day. I kind of really never know what to expect. But the more that I work on myself, the more grounded I can keep myself. And that is a huge relief. So I'm willing to deal with a lot of anxiety as long as I don't feel ever the way that I felt um, whenever I jumped off that bridge. I'm grateful for every day that I wake up where I am free of the weight of that kind of depression because I had never experienced anything like it and I never want to again. So I have been struggling to understand some of my friendships lately. Um, and I've noticed that other friends who are still going through hardships, who still live in the camps whenever I go to visit, have a powerful effect on me. And sometimes that is good, and sometimes that is bad. For instance, my brother, he's not literally my brother, but I call him that because he is my closest friend out there. And I just absolutely love him. His name is Landon. He's one of the friends that I refer to that has a very powerful effect on me, and it's positive because he goes through a lot of things, and even though he's going through those things, he no longer takes him out on me. I literally have loved him so hard that he's loving me back, and that's great because that's what I hope to achieve. Like he finally knows that I'm right. And if you knew the dynamics of the friendship between him and I, you would understand why that's so funny to me. Um, let's just say we both are very passionate people and we both work very hard out in camps and we shared a lot of camps together and we got into a lot of disagreements, but we both have an amazing sense of humor and we play off of each other very well. But he is very volatile and I know when to avoid the situation, when to joke, when I can joke around with him, and basically when to dip and dodge. And he does not mind. And that is a sign of true friendship right there. Because I have literally disappeared for months and come back, and he totally got it. Sometimes you just got to do your own thing. He's never taken it personally, and I don't take him personally. Like, it's one of the truest examples of friendship that I could think of or that I've ever come across. And I'm so truly grateful for him. However, some of my other friendships have had a more negative effect on me recently. Um, I have always wondered why, whenever I tried to have a friendship with other women, that they have hurt me. And I didn't even know if it was me or my own insecurities or whether it was them. And I'm starting to kind of figure that out. Like I have an example lately here. Like there is one person that I believed was my friend, and I think that she is my friend, but it's a superficial friendship. Whenever I thought that maybe I could rely on her friendship a little more, if that makes any sense. And I don't really feel like going into the details. If you want to know more, whenever I'm in a better mood, or like I'm not in a bad mood, but when I'm in the mood to explain it further, then I will. It's not something I really want to focus on. I just brought it to your attention because I wanted to read something that I wrote, and it was because of the conflict in my friendship with her that I mentioned it. And it is an example of how things have been motivating me and bringing inspiration, and I've been able to turn them into something productive, regardless of whether they're good or bad. And after my conflict with her, this is what I wrote. To the friends I now avoid at the intersection of our paths. I never think that I don't care. Maybe I've already said everything I could think of to say and you didn't listen. Or maybe my words reached you and we both got busy. But life is a long journey and love is a hard lesson. I cannot choose your course, nor do I want to. I simply want to navigate mine with as much joy and peace as possible. So know this, I love you. I will walk with you if I can and if you ask. But if you hurt me, I will not alter my destiny for you. If you choose the opposite direction, I will not follow. However, I will look for you when I reach my destination. I will never stop hoping to find you there. And that's all. Just another couple of things that I want to share that have been my inspiration recently before I retire for the day and I kick back and I relax, finally. I listen to the ones who think they know. They say they want to show me the ropes. I laugh inside because they don't even know. Imagine their surprise when I prove it, though. Yeah, I'm not arrogant, but I admit I'm proud. Every lesson earned was matched pound for pound. You see, no one taught me. I had to figure it out. And I don't want to show up, but try me and find out. I'm all about love and my Father above. So I know the difference between what's wrong and what's right. I battle for justice that's already won. Just keep that in mind when picking a fight. And that's all I have for today. Have a good night.